Hey, this is Get Real with Rallim, a podcast where we have everyday conversations with kids, parents, and of course, all the amazing teachers out there. Real conversations, real people. Let's do this.
Hello everybody, this is Mr. R and welcome to the socially distanced Get Real with Rallim podcast. I'm really excited about this one once again. It's been quite a week, but this week here at Rallim we have had our grade 7 students back at school. And today I've got 3 of them with me as my special guests. So we're going to be having a little chat about their week, how it's gone, the highs and the lows and everything in between. I'd love to know how everybody is doing. Connor, Rebecca, Lars, welcome. How's it going, Connor?
Hi, it's been a really hectic week. I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm adapting to things, to kind of doing things slightly differently. But life is good. Life is not too bad. Rebecca?
I'm good, and you?
Yes, fantastic, thanks. So how's your week been?
Been good. Been getting used to being back at school. Like, we haven't been back at school for like 2.5 months. So it's been different, but it's been really happy.
Lars?
I'm also very excited to be back at school to see all my friends and classmates. The first day I was a little nervous because I didn't know what I was supposed to do. And when I went to the sanitizing station and everything, it was fine then.
Okay, great. So, let's talk about that. Coming back to school, you had an idea that things would be slightly different. Assuming that during lockdown, you've had the opportunity to pop out to the shops or whatever the case is. It's a little bit intimidating. You go to Table Bay Mall, everyone's wearing masks. It's like, what is going on? And so coming back to school this week, it was a little bit like that. Things were a little bit different. So talk to me about that. What was the experience? Was it as scary as you thought it would be?
Yeah, it was scary. Like, now schools and even shops at malls have to be very cautious. When you go in and out, your entrance and exit area, you have to get sanitized. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
To be safe and to keep hygiene.
Absolutely.
Well, that's just reality now, so we've got to get used to it.
Yeah, it's the new world we're living in. Hopefully it won't go on for too long, and we'll figure out how to live with it, I guess. Lars?
So to this situation, I find there are positive and negative sides. So the positive is that we see each other again, that we can talk with our friends.
Yeah.
But the negative side is you have to keep your social distance, you have to wear masks, sanitize yourself the whole time. And I myself have gotten a little sick because of the sanitizer. I had itchy eyes already and everything.
Okay. And how are you doing today? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm getting used to it every day.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about, what are we on? Is it 70 days of lockdown or something like that? It's kind of crazy. For me, as some of the positives I've taken out of lockdown is haven't had the opportunity to see my kids a lot more often than I had previously, because obviously we'll be at work and the kids will be at school, and so would my wife. So it's been really interesting from that point of view. For yous, what was the best part of lockdown? Let's talk about that.
The best part of lockdown for me was that you could actually stay at home and not have to wake up so early, and you could actually sleep in, and you could try get creative. If you wanted to keep fit or something, you could do your own. You could do your own workouts and stuff, and you could just get used to a new experience of staying at home the whole day.
Awesome. So Connor, you and Coach K kicked off a really awesome campaign, and you achieved something amazing which inspired some of the other kids to kind of join in your initiative. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
So, first of all, Coach K inspired me. He did, I think it was a 52K run in his backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that just inspired me. And it inspired me to do a 10K, and I did that for charity. So I did a 10K, and for every kilometer or something, we would raise money. And yeah, so I just basically raised money by doing a 10K for charity.
So the Run for a Reason Lockdown Challenge was something that we kicked off. It was to help those in need. There's been a lot of families that have been very negatively impacted due to the lockdown. They've not actually been able to feed their families. So we partnered with Boost Africa, I think it was, Connor.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm not sure if you are all aware, but we, as a community in a school, we managed to raise 24,754 Rand.
Wow.
That is what we raised in total. And there was a lot of kilometers covered in the backyard of all these houses. So, well, congratulations. I mean,
Thank you.
you helped inspire something, and it lit a fire in, the community as well, which enabled them to contribute in such a magical way. And I think the money raised, it equated to feeding, I think, 55 families for a month. How amazing is that?
So,
Yeah. For an entire month. So congratulations and well done.
Thank you.
My daughter herself, she actually ran she's 6 years, well, she was 6 years old at the time, and she ran 2 kilometers around the house. And so, yeah, she also took part of the initiative, as did my wife. Super proud, and congratulations. That was awesome. So Rebecca, what was your best part of lockdown?
Well, I personally think spending more time with my family, because obviously on normal school days, I stay at the aftercare until like 5 or 6 o'clock. So spending time with my older sister, Abigail, really made me feel happy. And my family and I did activities together. We ran around in the garden. My sister and I were fostering puppies
that's
from
amazing.
fallen angels.
Wow.
We're foster parents. So yeah, it was incredible spending time with your family. I think this lockdown has actually shown people that it's taught you that you can actually spend more time with your family, but none of us have made that time. And during this time, we've been given that opportunity to spend time with our family.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's given us a chance to kind of recalibrate and kind of put things into perspective that are, that's really important. I think that's the problem with life sometimes, is that it can get really, really busy, and you kind of really forget about the important things that you should be focusing on. Yeah. Lars, what was your best part of lockdown?
So the part of when we got work, the best part was I could sit where you could sit in your comfortable spot, because in school we have school chairs that are not really that comfortable.
Okay.
And on weekends it was quite exciting because we could actually sort out the whole house. So my grandma and I sorted out the garage, and we found a lot of things hidden.
Did you find any treasure?
No.
Or that what you would deem as treasure? I mean, anything can be treasure,
but
really.
I found a lot of toys. I found when we moved, we put a lot of Tupperwares into one box, and very old, beautiful bowls into a box, and then we never found that box again. And then in this lockdown, we found it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. That's very, very cool. So there's a lot of sentimental value there, which is great. So, as I said, hidden treasures, it doesn't have to be a treasure chest full of money.
We even baked a few cakes in the whole of lockdown.
Did you really? Yeah, my girls had me baking every week. I think I've baked every type of cupcake you can think of. So yeah, it's been a pretty good experience from that point of view too. So let's talk about education. Let's talk about schooling. So after we broke up in March, we had holidays for a couple of weeks. We thought at that stage that we might come back, but we didn't, of course. And so the Edu Mentors here, of course, they got together, and we had to figure out a plan to kind of put together a remote learning network so that you kids could continue your learning. So I'm very interested to hear how that's gone. Tell me more.
Okay, some of the advantages are that you don't have to always walk up to the teacher to ask for questions because she's not there. So you can just email her, and the other advantages is you could just stay in one place and work. You don't always have to move classes for different subjects, or the teachers don't have to change for different subjects. You just have all the work at once.
Is it fair to say that technology will never ever replace a teacher?
I actually don't know.
Very difficult question.
Yeah.
I think that statement that you said, technology is changing like really rapidly around the world. But I've told my parents, I love teachers. Like my family says that when I get older, I must become a teacher.
Amazing.
But I think that the technology is changing a lot, and yeah, you never know what the future holds.
So I mean, it's probably more of a complementary tool than a replacement tool, I guess. You know, having that social interaction with your teacher, that kind of engagement, you know, it's very difficult to kind of get that experience with an iPad, for example.
Yeah.
So, and also with the Zoom sessions are great, but it still kind of leaves a hole, don't you think? You know, in terms of that connectivity with your age mentors. Well, how was the whole online learning experience for you, Rebecca? Was it challenging, or did you find it slightly unexpectedly easy, or?
I think for me it was probably challenging because in the beginning my family and I didn't have unlimited Wi-Fi or internet connection.
I think a lot of families had that problem. I think fortunately a lot of the service providers increased the bandwidth at no charge for a lot of families. So I think that problem wasn't solved immediately, but I think it started to improve as the weeks went on.
Yeah, and then we finally got it, which was really happy. But I was telling my parents, and they actually agreed with me. I think the most challenging thing was being at home and doing school and education. It's actually quite difficult because when you're at home, you're in the mindset of home.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're at school, you're in the mindset of school. So you know, okay, I'm at school. This is where I learn. So for me, it was difficult because when I was at home, I was thinking, oh, I can relax, I can sit down and chill. But it was time to realize that, wait a minute, you're at home. You need to learn. You need to be educated. So she's now 7. She turned 7 yesterday. Getting her out of bed in the morning and saying, you know, come on, let's. We tried the whole thing of let's get in our school clothes to kind of get into that mindset of being at school. It didn't work. I mean, she's slightly younger, so it's a little bit different. So yeah, I mean, we experienced that challenge, but after a couple of weeks, it was. You know, she kind of got into the rhythm of it, and by 8:30, 9 o'clock most mornings, we were into the whole school vibe, and it started to work quite well. And I suppose that was the same for yourselves.
My mom had the same problem trying to wake me up.
Yeah?
I would never wake up.
I don't think it helped that all of this went down going into winter.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially because it's so cold in the mornings.
I know, you just kind of want to cozy up and, stay under your blankets, but I totally get that. And for you, Lars?
For education, I have learned a lot of things during this lockdown. Surprisingly, in the lesson of accounts, I've learned things that weren't actually related to the lesson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So tell me more about that. What was that?
So I learned a lot of different people. In Afrikaans, we had a task where there were pictures of people. We had to Google their names and why they were so special.
Okay.
And I have learned quite a lot of things that, for example, Bolt, he's one of the fastest men alive.
Yeah, Usain Bolt.
Yeah, because I imagined Bolt differently.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
And I had the same problem as Rebecca with the Wi-Fi, especially at my grandma's house. It's very bad.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you manage to get that resolved?
There was most of the time the Wi-Fi was fine, but certain days, like stormy days, where the Wi-Fi decided not to work.
Okay.
And I also struggled to get up in the morning. And same problem as Rebecca. I was at home. I'm thinking, hey, why can't I just play games?
Yeah.
Do my own thing. I have the whole day to do the work. Why can't I just start off with games?
It's kind of difficult to you've kind of got to work a schedule out, because then you don't prioritize what's important. Because I think it's quite easy to get distracted, obviously, because you're at home, and then sometimes playing a game can be you know, at times a little bit more fun than doing a really difficult math sum. Of course it can.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really important to kind of, and so up until last week before you came back, did you kind of have that sort of structure in place at home? Were you guys in your rhythm of the school day?
Yeah, the last few days I had a rhythm.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Awesome. So, I mean, next week we've got a lot more kids that are going to be returning to Rallim. We're going to be phasing in a number of the grades. The three of you, as well as the other kids in grade 7, they've now lived the lockdown week back at Rallim. For those that might be a little bit nervous about coming back, anxious or whatever the case is, what would your advice be to those kids? Because, I mean, you explained a little bit about your experience in terms of coming back. So what would your advice be now that you've lived the first week back during lockdown with all these new processes in place? What can they expect?
So first of all, they mustn't be scared of anything. Just one of the advantages, look at the bright side of the things. Like, it's an opportunity to pick up your marks, to get better grades, and you mustn't be scared. Just if you keep the basic social distancing, sanitizing, wear a mask, don't take your mask off. If you just follow the basics, you'll be okay, and you just mustn't be scared. When you first come back, it is really like different, and it is hard getting used to the swing of things, staying at your own desk and everything. But if you just focus on that, you'll get used to it.
Great.
Yeah, I think I agree with Connor. The first day when I came back on Monday, I was like shaking. I didn't know like what to do. But I think Tuesday I got into the swing of the things. The teachers told us to just take it easy. We chose to come back to get up our grades and to be back at school.
Yeah.
And I think that they must just, as soon as you walk into the doors of Rallim, just take a deep breath in and out and think, this is my opportunity. Let's keep positive.
Oh, that's some great advice there, Rebecca. Thanks. Lars, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, firstly, I've learned a little bit about this virus, that for us kids, our immune system is still very strong, so we have a very slim chance of getting the virus. And yeah, just as Rebecca said, concentrate, wear your mask, social distance, and yeah, you will be fine.
I want to thank the three of you for joining me today. I've felt the discussion to be, it's helped me kind of understand how you're seeing things from your perspective. So thank you. And I really think for the kids that are going to be hearing this, I think it's going to help them as well, because they haven't come back to this environment yet, they've probably still got a lot of questions. And I think from what we've touched on today, you've kind of helped answer a lot of those questions. And so, you know, easing into next week, hopefully we'll see a positive outcome. Thank you very much for your time and for joining us today. It has been awesome, and I am really looking forward to the next time that we get to have a conversation to hear how life is going post-lockdown. Till next time, this has been Get Real with Rallim. I'm Mr. R. Everybody out there, stay safe. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask.